You're going to absolutely love what he does. Great wit, great repartee, great playing, and a terrific band with him. Will you welcome, please, Mark Harrison.
Right, well after that I'm going to be saying fuck all. Because I'm fed up with the sound of my own voice, talking shite at gigs. So although I've been nominated in the UK Blues Awards as an acoustic artist, you might note that this evening, for the very first time ever at St Harmonica's Blues Club, I'm playing an electric guitar. Yes, it's a sensational thing to happen. Those of you knowledgeable about these things will know that Bob Dylan did this in 1965 and people shouted Judas in Manchester. And Judas might have been the name of a fish and chip shop. And they'd mistaken him for the guy that worked there. But they shouted Judas, Christ knows why, because he couldn't play an acoustic or an electric, didn't make any odds. They've made a whole film about that, went to see it. It's a very, very good film. I've got an electric guitar, nobody gives a shit. Where's my film? It's nice to be back here. We've played here lots of times. It's always nice to come here. And I keep lists of what we play to try and vary it, so that tonight we won't be doing the same things we did last time, or indeed perhaps the time before. And then of course I realise that's another thing about which no one gives a shit. Is anyone seriously going to come up to me and say, I didn't want to hear that one again because I think I recognise it from 8 years ago? The Wild West is a lawless place. Marauding gangs are all around. They somehow rose without trace. Now they have the run of town. Ill-gotten gains is what they're after. It's a world of the grifter, not the grafter. The courtesans are not impressed. Now the place has turned into the Wild West. Now the Wild West is a hustler's place, but they don't carry guns no more. Rob people face to face. They got new weapons, that's for sure. Ill-gotten gains is the name of their game, and they roll around in them with no shame. Do your worst, you don't have a best. You can make a lot of money in the Wild West. The Wild West is a scary place if you're not one who can move and shake. Even the sheriff hides his face and leaves it to the ones who take. aficionado, Lord. If you're a chancer, be my guest. Y'all get a warm welcome in the Wild West. You get a warm welcome in the Wild West. You can make a lot of money in the Wild West. Make a lot of money in the Wild West. I'm going to work on pulling some faces on electric guitar, but because I think that's what you have to do. But I haven't got to that stage yet. Some of the songs that I've written are about the history of blues music and the people who made it. This is a song about the life of a man called David Honeyboy Edwards. I don't know if anybody here has heard of him. Some of you may have seen him, yeah. It's one for the aficionado. He was, for a while, the oldest surviving original Mississippi Delta blues artist until he stopped surviving. A few years ago, he was 96 at the time, still doing gigs. Last few weren't that great, to be honest. He's a nice man. And he wrote a book, or rather he spoke a book, because he was illiterate. And he spoke a book about his life called The World Don't Owe Me Nothing, which you should rush off and buy, because it's the best book ever written about anything ever. Seriously. I think you can still probably get it on Amazon or some such. And it's all his stories about his life down in the 1920s and 30s down in the Mississippi. What an extraordinary world that was. So this is a snapshot I got from reading that book. It's called Sneaking Away. Of course, for people like him, the threat of lynching was a permanent fixture. So the I in this song is him, not me. This kind of thing doesn't happen in Chipping Norton, as far as I'm aware, or indeed in East Finchley, when I lived there. Like for a period of time I lived in North Finchley, and I can't vouch for that one. Got out of bed, didn't make a sound, picked up my clothes and I tiptoed around, took one last look at where I used to lay. Coming up day and I'm sneaking away. When I hit that dirty street, there was no one else around. Heard a rooster crowing, I thought I heard a church bell sound, but it didn't mean a thing. It was not the time to pray. Coming up day and I'm sneaking away. Can't stay and fight, can't stick around. I had my warning to get out of town. There's been some trouble, but I'm not the one to blame. Coming up day and I'm sneaking away. Walk the road, might hop a freight, can't stick around till it's too late. When the hounds come calling, oh, there'll be hell to pay. Coming up day and I'm sneaking away. Coming up day and I'm sneaking away. We do a lot of travelling. A lot of driving in the middle of the night. I'm going to do some more of that tonight. And if you ever do any of this driving in the night, you will know that out there as you try to make your way home or wherever it is you're going, you are likely at any point to encounter a sign that says, "Road ahead closed." And if you're a complete twat like me, you will think, they don't mean it. They do. They always fucking do, as a matter of fact. It's the only time any work is ever going on. And I found this out the hard way when I wound up getting home from Eastbourne via Belgium. Usually when you see a road ahead closed sign, it's accompanied by a small yellow thing that says diversion. And one thing you can be sure of, you won't see another one of those. The song's called Road Ahead Closed. It is closed, but I'm gonna keep on going anyway. And God knows where in the dead of night, in another unfamiliar place, most everyone is in their beds. Pillows under heads. The road ahead is closed. further down the line. Only fools will disregard the sign. But I see I am not alone. There are other people who thinking it's all fine. Passing by with dodgy alibis. Nothing wrong with diplomatic lies. Oh, the road ahead is closed. Is closed, but I'm making life. I never saw the sign. Let's see how it goes. You can't know until you try. Too far gone to go back now. Make it through somehow. Oh, the road ahead is closed. The road ahead is closed. The road ahead is closed. Thank you very much. We don't regrettably have any sing-along songs. Just when I saw Ruth doing that, it reminded me that there was a time when we finally developed a sing-along song and launched it here. I don't know if any of you were here. If you were, you may still be having the therapy for it. Because so thrilled was I to have a sing-along song that I failed to account for the fact that I launched it here in November 2020 and everyone in the audience had a mask on. And to this day I'll never know if anyone was singing, because there was just a kind of audible mumbling. I don't know whether everybody sat there going, I'm not fucking singing this crap, into their mask. But I told myself at the time they were singing. So much has happened since then. To us all of it crap. We put out an album around that time, and this song became, little did we know at the time, that this was to become our biggest streamed song on Spotify. Indeed, it's some achievement, that, isn't it? As a result of the great riches that one gets from Spotify, we've all put in for planning permission for stables on our estates. And out in Chipping Norton, I managed to buy half a coffee at Clarkson's farm. The half I had was shite. And he wasn't there. This song's called Passing Through, or Passing Through. Never been quite sure, depends where you come from. Passing for me, yes, I'm from the Midlands. But Ponces from down south would say passing, wouldn't they? It's a measure of poncedom as to whether you say passing or passing. My mother wanted to turn me into a ponce, I now realise. Growing up in Coventry, she aspired to middle classness, which was quite some distance from where we were, she would say, don't say bath, say bath, in a futile attempt to drag us up the social scale. No one in Coventry was going up the social scale. I didn't even know there were snobs till I left. In the land of 1,000 souls, there are so many stories told. It's all come and go. Oh, there's Mr. So-and-so, but I don't know who's who, 'cause I'm only passing through. In the street of the broken hearts, they bring out their dead in cards, victims of events, cruel women and faithless men. I don't know which is true, 'cause I'm only passing through. In the time where the cold winds blow, see the work of the wrecking crew. Better days gone by, oh yeah, no, it's a sorry sight, but it's just a fleeting view, and I'm only passing through. On the station of crossing lines, sits the girl with her crying eyes. Message that she read, I wonder what it said. But then the whistle blew, and I was just passing through. Then the whistle blew, and I was just passing through. Thank you very much. This song is called Run. It's about some of the thoughts you might have when you become an adult, should that ever happen to you. I know it's unlikely for some. When you become an adult, a couple of things happen to you. One is you realise just how scary everything is. And everything in the adult world is scary because it's full of enormously unpleasant people doing all kinds of unpleasant things. And so it makes you want to disappear and get away from all that stuff. So this, I would suggest, is one of the reasons why you get together with whoever you get together with. Though I wouldn't recommend saying that to them. And one of the things that happens to you is something that you never hear anymore. A phrase you never hear anyone say at all these days is, they must know what they're doing. Phrase become completely redundant. It used to be that you realised that most people didn't know what they were doing. But now we live in an era, I submit to you, where one of the things we've all got in common now, after 5 years, it's pretty much exactly 5 years since insanity was imposed upon us. And we're 5 years into what I regard as the era of the great insanity. And people have all kinds of different opinions about this, passionately held disagreements about whose fault everything is. But one thing everyone is agreed on is that everybody is totally pissed off. What we have that unites us as people now is pissed offness. It probably wouldn't have been enough to defeat Hitler, but it's what we've got. We are utterly, completely pissed off. And the reason why we're all so pissed off is whoever we blame, whatever our opinions are, what we've all come to realise is not a single person in charge of a single thing has a fucking clue what they're doing. Everybody's got something to sell, but there ain't nobody buying. Everybody's got a story to tell, but it's odds on that they're lying. So you grab a hand and run for your life. Everybody's got something to hide, a secret not worth knowing. Or they're riding on that train, but they don't know where it's going. So you grab a hand and run for your life. You grab that hand and run for the hills where it might be alright. Now you go down to the bank, but the bank don't give a hoot. But then what is a bank but a loan shark in a nice suit? So you grab a hand and run for your life. Or you used to think that they must know what they're doing. But that's a notion that you have lately been reviewing. So you grab a hand and run for your life. Grab a hand and run for the hills where it might be alright. You sit there in your room, outside the snakes are hissing, and there's a puzzle on the floor with half the pieces missing. So you grab a hand and run for your life. Everybody's got something to say, they're mouthing out their lines. Now you won't learn nothing new, it's the same thing many times. So you grab a hand and run for your life. You grab that hand and run for the hills where it might be alright. you. Thank you. So we're going to do a couple more before the interval. And this song is called All My Days. There's nothing profound about it, I wouldn't have thought. There's nothing profound about anything I do, really. To be perfectly honest, it's all statements of the obvious. I think most people think that their life should have some sort of control, should have some shape, some order. It's a natural thing to want that, and I always have. And yet somehow mine has been a shambles, pretty much all the way along the line. And I think it's quite possibly true that whereas you tend to think that some kind of order is the norm, it's probably the case that shambles is the norm. You can pay 60, 70, 80 quid to get that kind of horse shit out of a therapist in Hampstead. Remember that when the bucket comes round. I ran into a friend of mine. There are a few who stood the test of time. She said, how you doing? Where you been? I said, give me a minute and let me think. Oh, I've been running all my days, engine humming. I've been amazed and half crazed. I've been running all my days. I went down to the marketplace. I thought that I should show my face. Man came up, said, I know you. I said, really? I don't think you do. Oh, I've been running all my days, running, finding ways through the haze. I've been running all my days. Underground, I thought I knew my way around, but I got lost and gripped by fear. I wonder, what am I doing here? Well, I've been running all my days, engine humming. I've been amazed and half crazed. I've been running all my days, and running, finding ways through the haze. I've been running all my days. I've been running all my days. Thank you very much. It's really nice to see so many of you in. and supporting this fine club. Nice for us to come and play and see so many of you. Thank you for coming out, and I hope you will feel this was a worthwhile way to spend your Friday night. We're going to the interval now. This song will demonstrate the extraordinary abilities in the limelight of these two incredible musicians with me on drums, percussionist Ben Welburn. And double bass and harmony singing is Charles Benfield. You'll just have to imagine how long-suffering those two are. This song is called The Biggest Fool. It's a few snapshots from the thorny world of relationships. A subject I have just about no songs about, as I prefer to write about subjects I know something about. We'll go to the interval after this one. Another man's watch was by the bed. She said, "Do you want a drink?" I said, "No thanks," and shook my head. I said, "How big a fool do you think I am? And what kind of fool do you take me for?" Then I opened my eyes and I realized I was the biggest fool that you ever saw. Stood there in the hallway. She didn't want to let me in. I peered through the doorway. A man was shaving in the sink. I said, "How big a fool do you think I am? And what kind of fool do you take me for?" Then I opened my eyes and I realized I was the biggest fool that you ever saw. Charles Benfield, double bass. And now, on his new drum kit, Ben Welber. That I saw her, I was hollering down in the street. She leaned out of the window. I heard a man I could not see. I said, how big a fool do you think I am? And what kind of fool do you take me for? Then I opened my eyes and I realized I was the biggest fool that she ever saw. Ben Welber on drums, Charles Benfield double bass, thank you. We'll be back. Albums, nice t-shirts, new ones in the corner there. Please buy something, we'll see you in a bit.